Hello everyone. This is the third file in this series and hopefully puts it all together and aims to help you understand what makes the plan work and your role in it. Looking to Delta Dental as an example, our dental plan through Delta uses usual and customary payments for services. In fact, the dental industry is centered around the PPO networks where payments for the same procedure are comparable. The dentists that accept Delta know what they are going to pay, and they pay usual and customary, which is comprised of several factors. Not the only factor, but Medicare pricing, for example, uses the costs involved in determining a price for a service, figures in a profit, and much like how CPI is calculated, a figure is reached that Medicare figures is appropriate and what they will pay. Now, we believe that using only one source of pricing isn't really fair, but what is fair is a price for services that provides a reasonable profit but not be exposed to those providers that charge way and above what's considered usual and customary. In 2015, needing to adapt to our group's risk and avoid having to increase rates or reduce benefits, we brought on Advanced Medical Pricing, AMPS, as an administrator that has the resources to have the data and experience to deal with providers. This was the biggest change to how the plan works since we began. With this change, we needed the covered member to understand and participate even more to help the plan run as we adapt. We dropped the First Choice Network, making all hospitals, facilities, and providers you would seek in-network to you. We merged the in and out-of-network maximums to one, virtually eliminating out-of-network, and eliminated the out-of-network deductible. Where AMPS benefits our group is primarily in the large claim department. Any facility, hospital, and large claim is now able to be reviewed and challenged. They scrutinize the bill for accuracy and determine what is appropriate to pay, in many cases saving more than 40% over previous charges for the same service through First Choice. Without a network, you ask, could there be a balanced bill for the difference? Yes. However, the trustees made sure that also part of their service, AMPS will advocate on behalf of the member in the event you receive a balanced bill for hospital, facility, and large claims. Rare, but it does happen. We have educated you to contact AMPS within 60 days of receiving the balanced bill. They will even send you a heads-up letter letting you know to keep an eye open for a possible balanced bill. If you receive the balanced bill and contact AMPS within 60 days of receiving that bill, AMPS will send you a kit to fill out, and you are then covered and not liable for any additional costs if you follow their instructions. Since 2015, there have been a few large claim balance bills that have extended past the initial negotiations between AMPS and the hospital or provider systems. All have been resolved, and the members affected were great and helpful all the way. For the smaller type claims like family physician or chiropractor visits, which make up a majority of claims in the plan, although small, without a network, we knew we left the member exposed to balance billing and were determined to minimize the chance by looking at the Delta model and paying on the high end of usual and customary as determined by AMPS and Lucent. AMPS does not do for the smaller claims as they do for the larger, and the plan couldn't let these providers charge what they wanted because they charge, in quotes, insurance plan prices for networks. So we sought out other options. When we gave up the network that restricted our abilities, we sought out and found a network created by MultiPlan, a national company that in response to network changes created a physician-only plan, or network, which excluded hospitals and facilities and the like, and focused on those providers that are the family doctor, chiropractor, massage therapist, and so on. Those providers we see that make up a bulk of our visits and who are generally local. PHCS and now HealthSmart are those smaller networks that we rented so we can provide a network of these types of providers to members and be assured of reasonable costs and no balance bill. These two networks include reasonable pricing as part of their agreements, and the plan has the ability to question and review billing. Additionally, our administrators were also confident that usual and customary pricing would be accepted by a majority of those providers outside of these small networks. 4 years later, between PHCS and a growing HealthSmart, there is a good selection of providers for you. In addition, we have several direct agreements where the plan has arrangements directly with providers. Providers outside of those networks or the direct agreement are paid at usual and customary rates, and you will still pay the one deductible if applicable. You may ask, how do I approach a provider about the plan? Well, we provide several resources for you to help with a provider not in one of our networks. A special letter can be found and printed from the Trust website under the What to Do If Your Provider Refuses Service page to hand to the provider that explains our plan and where to find out what the plan will pay for specific codes so you can determine if they will balance bill the difference. You can ask your provider to agree and accept the payment before any service. Sometimes they will tell you they will wait till the first bill is paid, or if the first time you're talking to them about it is at your first visit, you can provide the letter and ask their billing people to contact Lucent right then and there. Our experience is that there is a great chance that most physician-only providers will accept payment. With all that information, you're free to choose whether to continue with that provider or find another. If a balance bill is received, contact Chris from LBG, who is another resource for help. She has successfully helped several providers accept the payment as reasonable. There have only been a couple providers we have found that won't and are working on pointing them out to you. The last resource that can sway a provider is our plan itself. Through our administrator arrangements, we have consistently responded well to appropriate billing by processing payments quickly. We consistently pay bills received to Lucent within 6 days, not the 3 months that they are used to with other plans. Overall, the providers we talk with are happy once they get what they need to submit invoices. We rely on you, the member, to let us know when issues arise, and we work hard to help you work through it and bring in the provider to our networks or make an arrangement. Where we are unable to achieve this or the provider is unwilling to be reasonable, we will make sure you know so you have the best information to make your decision to continue with them or not. We are actively working with HealthSmart to bring in all PHCS providers, and we will then have that as another resource for those providers who don't want to deal direct. There is a risk, although small, from our experience that if you go to a provider that is outside of our physician-only networks, that they will want the difference of what they billed. Here you can help by talking to your provider. If you choose to pay the difference, what is paid does not count toward your maximum out-of-pocket identified in the plan document. Only the patient responsibility amount you receive in your EOB, explanation of benefits, is accumulated. As a direct result of all your efforts, our current premium rates are where they were at in 2013. Imagine that. Our plan has continually expanded benefits being offered, and in the past 5 years has seen an average minus 2.5% reduction in premiums each of those 5 years. In 2019, we saw the first return of equity of $1,200 for each member that was participated in the plan for the entire year. Where the top step firefighter was just 4 years ago with their comparables to now means the reduction in premiums has greatly improved the bargaining position for all other compensation. Your efforts are truly paying off. This concludes the third audio file that we wanted to get out. Thank you for listening, and please let us know if there are other questions you would like to hear about by contacting a trustee or myself with contact information on the plan website, www.gigharborfirebenefits.weebly.com.